Last night at Nationals Park. From the excitement of Michael Taylor circling the bases to give his team a 6-run lead, to the reality of a bullpen meltdown. An 8-7 loss at the worst possible time. Now, they must focus on the present. Steven Strasburg and Jacob deGrom in the series finale on Massive. The Nats are going to try again to beat the New York Mets. It's been a rough couple of days with leads lost. Tonight is Jacob deGrom. It's Steven Strasburg, a great pitching matchup. Guys who have the potential to be aces going for both ball clubs tonight. Bob and FP, at least the sun did come up today. There's another game to be played tonight. You got to win it. 24 games left. It is getting late. But how do you survive a punch to the gut like last night?
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. We'll find out tonight how this team is after last night. Are they resilient? Will they come back and fight tonight? We'll see. I think there's a lot of baseball left, and I definitely don't think this thing's over.
I would agree with that because you play till they tell you it doesn't mean anything anymore. And right now the Nats are generating runs, enough runs to win 10 or 11 games in a row had the bullpen been a little better the last 2 weeks. And FP, you can't lie about it. The numbers just sit right in front of you. And there's the sad story of what these guys have been going through.
Yeah, the Nats have led by 2 or more runs in all 4 of the losses. They've lost 11 games this year while leading entering the 7th inning. Only the Braves and the Blue Jays have lost more, 12 games going into the 7th. So the 7th inning's been a big bugaboo last night. The hiccups, the 6 walks, that can't happen again. I don't want to say it, but hopefully it gets better tonight. I was going to say it can't get any worse, but that's the last thing you want to say.
Yeah. Well, the Nats, they lost 2 games on the road last week in St. Louis when they scored 5 runs. They've scored 12 runs in this series. Haven't been able to win a ball game just yet. So let's turn to the starters now. Steven Strasburg makes his return. He was out for a month last time, and now he comes back. Don't know how many pitches or how many innings he's capable of, but when healthy, he's been throwing the ball very well.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on him. The velocity last time out was down a tick, 92, 93 miles an hour, so that's the first thing I'm going to look at tonight. And the second thing is he's got to go deep into this ball game with however many pitchers were used last night. The bullpen a little bit bigger, but still a lot of key parts worked real hard last night through a lot of pitches. So Steven Strasburg, you're looking for a long one from him tonight and some pitch efficiency, getting through innings quick.
Jacob deGrom put on quite a show at the All-Star game. For the National League in Cincinnati, he's 12-7 with a 2.40, and he is a tough customer.
Well, he's given up 12 runs his last 3 starts on 11 hits, so he's in uncharted waters right now, pitching more innings than he ever has before. His fastball command isn't what it was early in the season.
Wilson Ramos has a career homer against deGrom. That happened on July 21st. He went opposite field for that one at Nationals Park. And, of course, the grand slam on Labor Day. He's been workmanlike with the bat lately. Career against the Mets, .320 with 10 homers, 41 RBIs, his most against any opponent. You got to play one at a time. One of them's coming up right now. to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you, and by 9 Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Right now, a W is what the Nats need. Steven Strasburg hopes to lead the way tonight. Strasburg 8-6 with a .435. It's his 19th start. He's 4-2 in 14 career starts against the Mets. Cloudy skies, 89 degrees. Kind of a comfortable evening at the ballpark. Yeah, it's warm. Looked like we might have some rough weather late in the afternoon, but it kind of moved around here and out of here. And right now, here come the Mets with David Wright. He's played in 21 ball games. He has 27 hits, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. And David Wright got the Mets off to their first run last night after the Nats had already scored a couple in the first inning. So everything's kind of back in order for the Mets offensively with Wright back in there. Yoenis Cespedes over from Detroit, and Curtis Granderson doing a good job of leading off.
Left after 4 innings last start. On August 30th, went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 strikeouts. Velocity was down. Last start, the fastball averaged 93.9 miles an hour. The start before that, 96.9 miles an hour, the fastest average velocity he's had since 2013. So down 3 miles an hour. We'll keep an eye on that. It's not everything, but it was a definitely telltale sign that something was off with Steven Strasburg last time out. And they need a big one out of him here tonight. Let's set the defense behind Steven. Dendecker, Harper, Worthy outfield. Desmond Rendon left side. Espinosa, Robinson right side. And Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
If you weren't with us for Nats Extra before the game, Anthony at third and Danny Espinosa at second, because Yunel Escobar has a fever, and that's a shame because he was 5 out of 9 in this series. Michael A. Taylor, an irritated right knee, thus Dendecker in the outfield. Curtis Granderson in the series 3 for 6 with a couple of RBIs and 4 bases on balls. He's in there at .259, and he's 2 for 10 career against Steven Strasburg. ESPN is going what we call side by side with the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets telecast tonight. And this game was supposed to start at 7:08, and evidently they got a little chatty during their open. Look at those cameras. I mean, we have a battery of electronics out there in center field. So at 7:08:30 or so, here we go. Fastball is up. Then a ball popped up to the left side. Rendon and Desmond over there. Ian's making the call, and the fair ball catch for the first out.
So 2 fastballs, 195, 196, 1 out.
My guest to Brooke, 10th year in the big leagues. Ed Hickox at first, Paul Nard at second, and the crew chief over there third. There he is, Dana Demuth. Yoenis Cespedes. 7-game hitting streak. 14 for 33. 34 RBIs in 35 games with the Mets. One of the biggest swings of their season last night. The bases clearing double against Drew Storn and the Nats. Goes up hacking. Desmond, great pick. Can he get it there? Not in time.
Great play.
And Cespedes has an 8-game hitting streak.
I mean, if Ian Desmond sets himself, he takes 2 or 3 extra steps, and that's 2 or 3 extra steps for Cespedes. So what does he do? He gets rid of it quick. Watch, short hop, get rid of it, get the ball in the air. Grass slows it up just enough for Cespedes to beat it. Nice stretch by Clint Robinson. But what an athletic play by Ian Desmond, getting rid of it quick, throwing right over the top. And you see the ball check up. Even some dirt kind of came up underneath the grass. But a great play by Desmond, and Steven Strasburg approves. Wow.
Daniel Murphy is 0 for 8 with an RBI and a walk.
Tell you what, there's been a lot of talk throughout the course of the season about Ian Desmond's start and the season he's had, and people saying that he's losing money. I don't know about all that stuff. I'm not an agent. I'll just say this. I'd take him on my team any single day.
He's been an all-star for the last 2 months. 2.5 months, really. Murphy 4 for 16 career against Strasburg. And a ball lifted out to left center. Bryce Harper in the middle outfield spot tonight with Michael A. Taylor banged up a bit. 2 outs. David Wright will be next. Strasburg 2 walks or fewer. So his last 17 starts have encompassed the longest streak of control in his career. So last night, 8th time in the history of the Mets, trailing by 6 or more entering the 7th. They got the job done. The Nats are averaging over 7 runs a game this month. David Wright 3 for 9 with a homer, 2 RBIs, and a walk in the series. One of those situations where a guy's out for a huge chunk of the season. The Mets are playing their 139th game. David's only played in 20 of the first 138, so you never know how a guy's going to be able to contribute when he comes back after a layoff like that. Homered in his first game back, and he has continued to help this ball club. Against Strasburg, career 3 for 9. I'm sorry, 6 for 19. 3 for 9 his number from this series. And he's 5 for his last 13 on a short 3-game hitting streak. One and 2.
Pretty good curveball right here from Steven Strasburg, I believe. Yeah, short, tight. Not the big 12-6er, but effective.
Mike Estabrook took a long look at that one.
Good block.
David Wright takes us inside the numbers with STG. So with one team active, only Ryan Howard of the Phillies, Ryan Braun of the Brewers, more home runs than David in his career with the Mets. And a pop-up. Right side, Danny Espinosa, long way to go, and he gets there. He just turned his back to the infield. Steven Strasburg with a 10-pitch top of the first. Good sign for the night. 8th in the league, but the runs 3rd. The home runs tied with the Mets 4th in the league. Eddie and Desmond, what he's done this year against the Mets, just under 330. Bunch of extra base hits. 8 runs scored. Desmond hitting .289 with 10 home runs and 27 RBIs since the All-Star break. Jacob deGrom is 1-2 career against the Nats in 5 starts with a 3.68 ERA.
No decision. The Mets 6-5 11-inning loss at Florida last time. That was on September 4th. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 9 hits, struck out 4 Marlins, threw 98 pitches, 71 for strikes. So fastball's averaging 95. Slider, curveball, change to go with it. And like I said in the open, he's given up 12 runs his last 3 starts on 11 hits. And he's in uncharted waters. 169 innings pitched this year. He pitched 140 in the 3rd last year at the big league level.
Right on the corner to Jason Worth.
And the reason I say that is because innings at the big league level much more intense than innings at the minor league level.
No doubt about that. Hitters constantly making adjustments to solve whatever you have for them. That's a fastball up, and Jason couldn't get to it. He's had a good series. 4 for 10 with an RBI. And career against deGrom, 1 for 8 with an RBI. To the left side, David Wright has to kind of hold back for a big hop. Throws out Jason Worth.
So the defense for the Mets tonight behind Jacob deGrom. Conforto, Cespedes, Granderson in the outfield. Flores right, left side of the infield. Murphy Duda right side of the infield. And Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate.
Yeah, d'Arnaud handling deGrom tonight. And here is Danny Espinosa in the number 2 spot. Just 2 at-bats in the series so far. Yeoman work for Danny, filling in while guys were hurt.
You know, watching the video of deGrom in his last start against the Marlins, his fastball is kind of spraying all over the place. What made him so successful throughout the course of this season early on was his fastball command. If you watch his head, it's very still, and he kind of drives it right toward the target in his delivery. And I don't know if it was just one start or what, but his command was off. Didn't walk anybody, but you know, you can still have poor command and not walk somebody, meaning you're making mistakes in the strike zone and guys are getting hits.
Good career numbers against the Mets for Espinosa. Playing in his 22nd game since the All-Star break. He's been on base in 18 of the previous 21. And against deGrom, 0 for 5 career. Upstairs with 97, 2 outs. Let's talk about innings as STG gives us some more numbers. So Matt Harvey, 2 years ago before Tommy John, he's almost there again. As FP said, deGrom approaching what he did. And then Noah Syndergaard, AAA numbers last year, big league numbers this year. Bryce Harper having a rough series. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Mets have him 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. Eighth in the league in strikeouts with 176. 4th best ERA, deGrom. 4th hardest pitcher to hit at 210.
He might try one a little bit higher here in an 0-2 count and see if he get chased.
Anthony Rendon, cleanup man tonight. for the bullpen. Did he get it? He did. He is hitless in this series against the Mets. No more. That's number 35. One of the few Bryce has hit all year where we had to wait to see if it was actually leaving.
Well, that's because he didn't get it. Maybe he had the bent arm swing right there, but there goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout Bryce Harper style with home run number 35. And a very subdued Bryce Harper. You usually see a little more enthusiasm out of Bryce, but I was watching him run around the bases, and there was a little hitch in his giddy-up. Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of scared me. It scared you?
RBI number 84, extra base hit number 69. Here's Anthony Rendon. It's the 150th homer for the Nationals this year.
Yeah, Bryce does not hit too many wall scrapers, folks.
#16th of the year given up by DeGrom.
The only other wall scraper I can think of just off the top of my head was that wind-blown home run in Chicago where he got frustrated, threw his back down, and the wind took it out. Other than that, I mean, just off the top, I don't really remember anything being close that he's hit.
Yeah.
That may be the closest one to home run, not a home run all year.
Yeah, for Bryce, that's an off-speed swing, 87. Puts the Nats on top. Rendon takes a big swing, 2-2. Two for 9. With an RBI and a walk in this series. Now a 3-2. That's a fastball inside. So Bryce Harper with Anthony Rendon really extending what appeared to be a quick bottom of the first for DeGrom.
Let's see the home run again. It was a fastball up and in, and look at Bryce get on top of it. And I've seen a lot of good hitters in the history of baseball, and I've played with a lot of good hitters, but I don't know that I've seen one make adjustments in the course of an at-bat like Bryce Harper does, where he was late on the fastball up early in the count, and he made the adjustment and talk about getting on top and getting that backspin. That's what he was doing with his hand right there, and that's why that ball carried. He kind of pinched it. Like when you hit a knockdown shot in golf, you pinch the ball. It's exactly what he did right there. Lots of rotation on that home run.
Glenn Robinson's had a good series. 2 hits, a walk, and RBI. They really play a shift on him with Murphy out in right field. And we saw some slivers fly off the bat there, a little bouncer to the other side.
I mean, you think about this year, there's been pitches that Bryce has missed, and pitchers try to go back to that hole in that at-bat. And good hitters will make adjustments from at-bat to at-bat. So if you look bad, one at-bat, you make the he makes it in the course of that at-bat. Better than most, or maybe better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's too bad it's so late in his career he won't be able to do it for a while.
I mean,
for his age, the knowledge and what he does, amazing. Clint Robinson takes a fastball to the outer half.
I mean, if you're DeGrom, you made the pitch you wanted to. You threw 2 past him up high. Tried to throw 3 past him up high, and he got on top.
And that's a swing, a foul tip, and a strikeout. Harper goes deep with 2 outs. The Nats leave Rendon, who walks. So Bryce Harper gets the Nats on the board. Number 35, RBI number 84.
Matt Williams said that Stephen Strasburg felt really good coming out of his bullpen session as he comes back from that back tightness, and his velocity in that first inning was 95-96 with the fastball, which is obviously good. But the thing that Williams says that he's going to look for, especially with Strasburg early on, to know whether he's totally over this back issue, is whether he's able to throw his fastball down and away to righties and locate it well. When he's able to do that, Williams says that shows that Strasburg is getting good release, good extension on that pitch. If his back is still tight, if it's still an issue for him, he won't be able to get that extension and really put the fastball where he wants to, down in the zone and away to righties. So let's look for that over these next couple innings and hope that Strasburg's okay.
All right, Dan, yeah, off to a good start. 10 pitches, 6 strikes first inning because of Harper and Rendon. DeGrom got extended. And when you're talking Cars, you're talking Coons. Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. There's Lucas Duda. 0 for 3 RBI walk in that fateful 7th inning last night. Just reactivated by the Mets after some back issues of his own. 2 for 9 with a home run career against Stephen Strasburg. Breakout season last year, 30 homers, 92 RBIs. So he's missed the equivalent of about 25 games this year. Strasburg brings the breaking ball back in from outside.
It looked like it tried to stay out there. Good frame by Ramos, setting it right there, and Mike Estabrook liked it.
And he has Duda reaching for that one, and Matt Denducker, a former Met, with that grab in left field. First out, top of the 2nd.
Join the Nats as they celebrate Faith Day, Saturday, September 19th at Nats Park. Enjoy post-game player stories and live performances by gospel choirs after the Nats and Marlins matchup. That's a 4:05 start. Mark that down. To purchase your Faith Day tickets, visit nationals.com/faith.
Heaven and baseball, they just go together, don't they? Panning, tilting down from one to the other. I like it.
Oh, we thought there was angels.
And that ball was hit a long way by Travis d'Arnaud. This game is tied. First homer of the series, 11th of the year. And the Mets have hit 6 home runs in this series.
Well, after last night, the Mets are saying, we're down 1-0, so what? I mean, when you come back from down 6, you feel like no deficit is insurmountable, and Travis d'Arnaud goes into the bullpen right off the very top of the fence. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Line drive home run, ties it at 1.
Well, last night, the Nats took an early lead. Jordan Zimmerman couldn't get a total shutdown inning in the 2nd when Wright homered. Now the Nats have taken the lead and the Mets have had another answer. So that's been another factor the last few games, is shutting down the other ball club after the Washington offense scores. And home runs have been a big problem. Michael Conforto did one on Monday here, and he hits that ball hard the other way. Matt Denducker over to grab it. That ball was absolutely crushed. 2 down. That'll bring in Wilmer Flores.
So this is Stephen Strasburg in between pitches. I haven't seen this. Doesn't look like a whole lot to me.
Wilmer Flores got the first RBI hit of that big inning last night. Had a couple of hits on Monday. 3 for 8 with an RBI. He gets jammed and pops it up to the left side for Ian Desmond. Teams trade solo homers. Harper in the first, d'Arnaud in the second. The taller part of the wall out there near the bullpen. Ball game tied. Freight Railworks with the Nats coming up in the bottom of the second, and who's due up? Ian Desmond, 18 long balls career against the Mets. Wilson Ramos is September RBI guy, and then Matt Dentucker. Some of it as pinch hitting, and a few of it as a starter, doing a good job with the bat. First inning for DeGrom, 21 pitches, 14 strikes. And Ian Desmond's had a good series, 3 hits, an RBI, a walk. Four career hits, a homer, 5 RBIs by Desmond against DeGrom. Well, he's been sitting 95 to 97 with the heater tonight. Establishing the heater early.
Tried to run it back right there, 2-seamer away. Tried to go backdoor with the fastball, and pretty good frame by d'Arnaud, but it was still outside.
And Ian Desmond was reaching for that one. David Wright comes in and to the left of the mound takes it for the first out.
Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag NatsCouchGam. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. I feel like sometime in November, December, I'm going to be saying that one in my sleep. It's just rolling over. And T-Mobile.
Fan photos rolling across your field of vision. You know, if that ever happens to you in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, don't call me.
Call you?
Don't.
Hi, Bob.
Here's Ramos.
Can't sleep right now.
First pitch up the middle and to his left, Wilmer Flores. Time to spin around and find his target. 3 straight since the walk to Rendon. Inside the numbers, STG all over game 3 here tonight. So biggest division comeback since '69. Talking 24 games left, and the Phillies actually did this against the Mets. Remember, that was the year when Jimmy Rollins ruffled all the feathers in New York by saying, "We're the team to beat, not the Mets." Well, it took them till the last 2.5 weeks to prove it, and they did.
Well, Jason Worth was on that team, and that's why he was so adamant about this isn't over last night after the game, even though he said it was one of the worst losses of his career. Wouldn't go so far as to say it was the worst loss of his career, but he also said he believes in his ball club and it ain't over.
Matt Den Decker. 0 for 2 against DeGrom. In limited pinch hitting this year, covering 10 at-bats, 4 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs. 12 hits in 33 games overall, and that's well inside 2-1. Tie ball game, bottom of the second with the pitcher Strasburg on deck. And some high gas. It's 2-2. Den Decker drafted 5th round by the Mets 5 years ago. And that is close, and DeGrom just missed 3-2. Mercedes-Benz will have a look at it.
Well, backdoor curveball and didn't come back. Darno tried to frame it. I'll tell you what, he's as good as I've seen back there this year with the glove, presenting strikes to umpires.
3-2, and Den Decker hits one high in the air to center. Coming in for it now, Cespedes. Nationals go in order. The Harper homer, the Darno long ball, 1-1 after 2.
Cox, game on. 1-1 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Bryce Harper at his 35th if you missed it. Travis d'Arnaud tied it up with his 11th if you missed it. And Steven Strasburg's been real good here tonight. 21 pitches so far, and we'll show you Bryce's 35th home run. Fastball up and in, and you see the second pitch right there is one he swung through. So talking about the adjustments he made. The 2nd and 4th pitch almost the same. One he was late on, one he got the barrel out and just clears the fence to put his team up 1-0.
A little nod to Anthony Rendon as they exchanged handshakes. Top of the third, DeGrom, Granderson, Cespedes for the first place Mets, who have a 6-game lead over the Nats.
So that bracelet that Bryce is wearing on his right wrist, it's called the Loci bracelet, and it has water from Mount Everest. It's supposed to signify the height of your life, and it has mud from the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point on Earth. Right there, that black dot, which is supposed to signify the lowest point in your life, and the water beads in between are, everything else from your highest point to your lowest point. Mount Everest, the highest point on the Earth, Dead Sea lowest. And that bracelet might signify last night's game all in one. High points, low points, and everything in between.
DeGrom taking a big-time rip on an 0-2 pitch. 9 hits, couple of RBIs this year. 196 career hitter. That's a good curveball. That'll lock up just about anybody. Steven Strasburg's first strikeout. First time through, the Mets go 2 for 9.
Time for Toyota Case for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37. Bob, are you up to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season? Can't sleep. That one too. But they got that one down.
I have a bracelet that has dirt from the 45th parallel. I'm just kind of a
serious,
in between guy.
You have one from the equator?
Halfway from the equator all the way north.
Oh, it's cool.
That is interesting.
They donate a lot of money to charity, and I think it's great.
96 as Steven Strasburg brings it to Curtis Granderson. No balls, 2 strikes.
Just missed. Trying to elevate though. 0-2. Get him to chase up. Looked like he might have lost his balance in the middle of the windup right there. Steve McCaddy looking on.
Well, he's got that breaking ball working. Taken for a strike by DeGrom. Swinging strikeout by Granderson. 4 straight.
Yeah, best curveball of the night from Strasburg right here. And bottom drops out. Nothing Granderson can do right there. Great pitch. Watch the rotation. Sitting up way over the top of that one. Good catch by Wilson Ramos, not letting that hit the dirt on strike 3.
Here's Cespedes. One hopper to Ian Desmond in the hole. Ian made a remarkable play, but Yoenis too fast, legged out a hit, giving him 15 hits over an 8-game streak.
He's got more colors going on than that thing in left center in Marlins Park.
Breaking ball. Ended up outside. Was a strike long enough. 1-1. Got that fastball in on him. No, since the All-Star break, Strasburg didn't pitch from the 4th of July until the 8th of August. So that number you see encompassing 5 starts coming in. 10 days since his most recent outing against the Marlins in a 7-4 win. Big breaking ball, a swing and a miss. Steven Strasburg's having a pretty solid night. Strikes out the side in the 3rd. 1-1 game.
Nats play the O's. It's a 7:05 start. First 25,000 fans. You get a Calvin Coolidge bobblehead. That's presented by the White House Historical Association. Visit Nationals.com to purchase your tickets today.
Yeah, the Orioles, the Nats, 3 remaining interleague games.
Silent Cal, there he is. His wife was actually more of a baseball fan than he was. She was a fanatic.
Steven Strasburg, 3 for 26 on the year. And with the target well outside, DeGrom throws it out there, gets his 3rd strikeout. Nats go 1 for 8 with a walk, first time through. Now Jeep has some numbers for us. Since the 18th of August, and the Nats offense, almost 100 walks, on base percentage way up there, 6.33 runs, 33 homers, and the ball club hitting over 290. You would look at that and think the Nats are either in first place or right there with the Mets.
My offense has been great.
It has. We're at the chopper left side. Easy cutoff for David Wright. 2 down. Worth 2 grounders to their 3rd baseman. And Danny Espinosa will try to keep the inning alive for Bryce Harper.
By the way, I still think the president should have to throw out the first pitch on opening day in D.C. every single year.
Well, you know, Congress is back in session. We need to get that bill.
Yeah.
Get that bill on the floor.
I mean, it should be a rule. When you run for president, you know that part of the job is throwing out the first pitch in the nation's capital on opening day, and it has to be done every single year from here on out. I'm going to make that my cause. Where do I go?
And I think,
is there a number to call?
I think as part of the debates, one question should be, what's your fastball?
Yeah. And if you have to say what is a fastball, then I'm not voting for you.
That's a good,
right?
A good addendum right there. 0-1 to Danny Espinosa. DeGrom struck him out first time. Trying to do it again here quickly to end the 3rd inning. Nats will open on the road next year before coming home. DeGrom and Strasburg both efficient. Steven more so with 33 pitches in 3 innings. 0-2 pitch. Espinosa just can't find contact against Jacob DeGrom, who has now struck out 4 and given the Nats 1 hit. That was an 8-pitch inning. 2 years ago, September 9th, Gio against the Mets. And he would be just about perfect that night. That's the only hit. Zach Lutz, right field line. By the way, he came in after a pitching change, a double switch, replacing Daniel Murphy in the lineup, and put one right on the chalk line. Gio walked a couple, 110 pitches, 79 strikes. And for Gio Gonzalez, his 4th career complete game, 2nd shutout. The most recent he has thrown, by the way, in his career.
He's having a good time on the bench tonight. He's talking to Tom Goodwin, first base coach of the Mets. Having a little chat.
Murphy, first batter here in the 4th.
I was telling Tom Goodwin about Trey Turner the other day. He was asking me how fast he was. If you remember Tom Goodwin, he was one of the fastest guys, if not the fastest guy, in the big leagues when he played. And he was asking me all about Trey Turner. How fast is he? Is it legit? I'm saying, yeah, he could run with you. He said, no. Yeah, he could run with you. I don't know about that, but in their primes, I'd like to see them both race.
2-1 pitch. Murphy pulls it well foul. Daniel Murphy this year hitting .306 on the road. Kind of odd, because that's nearly 30 points higher than his average. So he's sitting in the 240s at Citi Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Strasburg.
Sometimes that's the case if you have small children. You actually get to sleep in on the road. You actually get a full night's rest on the road. But maybe if you have little kids at home, they get up early. Or if you have a baby, they're up all night, and so are you. So you'll see that a lot with players. They play better on the road.
2-2, and Murphy fouls it back. Well, some stuff up and away. From top to bottom on the strike zone on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track. 2-2. Murphy drills it to center. Bryce Harper right there. And Daniel Murphy is 0 for 10 in this series.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. That is brought to you by Miller Lite.
That'll bring in David Wright with 1 out. Pop up to Danny Espinosa, first time up. To that fastball, averaging higher than it did last time out. 10-day layoff for Steven. Threw well on the side. And he's really got some snap on that breaking ball tonight.
Well, he's throwing it for a strike early in the count. And then he's really spinning it late in the count, bouncing it and making hitters commit. Good frame by Ramos.
Two pitch. And David Wright just buckled by that breaking ball. Strasburg has fanned 4 of the last 5 Mets.
Well, the curveball has just been spectacular tonight. Watch this one buckle. A really good hitter, and David Wright knew it. Watch him flinch right here. Well, you can't see him in this frame, but he really just jelly legs. Actually picks up his back foot to get out of the way of it, and it comes back for a strike. Pretty good pitch.
Worthy to note that of those fly ball outs, 3 have been caught by the infield. Big shift on here as Ian Desmond stays home at short. Rendon goes out to short right center, and Danny Espinosa a good 30 feet into the outfield. Duda actually hit the ball the other way first time to Dendecker. Into the 8 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park, where the Nats are 41-28 on the year. The Mets have struggled on the road. They're 5 under. But if you look at what they've done in the division with these 2 wins here, they are 39-20 against the East. One-two pitch.
98. It's the highest velocity all night from Steven Strasburg. I think he's just getting loose.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Man, he is flipping curveballs in there. Righties and lefties having a hard time with it. 5 Ks in the last 2 innings. Strasburg pitching beautifully so far. Everybody but Teddy, so he's up to something. And evidently Teddy going to sell some hot dogs for $1.
Oh no, is that a killer hot dog? There's nothing worse than a killer hot dog chasing you around.
I don't know, you know, it might just be my imagination, but that face looked a lot like Martha Washington.
Martha Washington dressed up as a killer hot dog for Halloween.
Bottom of the 4th, here's Bryce.
Whoa.
And DeGrom trying to get a strike down and in, just missing. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Little slider here from Jacob DeGrom, 91. Bottom of the zone.
Yeah, great pitch. Didn't get the call. 2-1. Harper lashes one to the gap in right center. That's going to one-hop the wall. Curtis Granderson picks it up. And Bryce Harper in 2 swings has 6 total bases tonight and now 70 extra base hits.
Oh, this ball shot out of a cannon. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at the perfect swing by Bryce Harper. Head on the baseball, perfect balance. And look at this. It's all Curtis Granderson can do is watch it go by. One hops the wall. Bryce hustling to second base. Leadoff double here in the 4th. That ball was hit way better than his home run.
It was. Curtis Granderson was playing really deep there. And he wasn't that far from that ball, but he had no chance to cut it off. So here's Rendon, who walked first time. Anthony, not usually a cleanup hitter, but the Nats able to go right-handed switch hitter, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, with the first 6 batters in the lineup tonight. Escobar's hit cleanup quite a bit lately, so Rendon in his place at third base and in that lineup spot.
Both of those strikes would had to be the bottom of the zone to Anthony Rendon. Travis d'Arnaud framing them up nice, but Rendon didn't like either call. Yeah, look at that. Still trying to move the runner. Good effort. Hit speed. What do you got? 104. What was the first one? 87 on the home run?
17 miles an hour harder than the homer.
Yeah. Trajectory.
Strasburg a longer 3rd inning. If indeed, rather 4th inning because of the strikeouts. Yeah, Strasburg 5 Ks of the last 6 batters. That'll add the pitch count up there a bit, but 50 through 4, very good. 1-2 to Anthony Rendon now. And he will move the runner. It's a great at bat. Murphy throws him out. What a battle with 2 strikes.
Oh, you can tell he was trying to do it even with 2 strikes. That's a great at bat by Anthony Rendon. 1-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th, leadoff double. And with 2 strikes against one of the better pitchers in the National League, he still moves Bryce Harper to 3rd. That's for the ball club, folks. That's a team player. That was nice.
Clint Robinson and the Mets are going to play their infield right in his grill. Couldn't stop his swing on a pitch up. .30 RBIs for the 30-year-old rookie. Strokes it the other way. Clint Robinson, another great at bat. Puts the Nats on top. He has just been impressive all throughout this season in whatever role Matt Williams has for him.
Well, that's about game plan and that's about approach. And he saw Wilmer Flores playing right up the middle. If you saw the shot, Wilmer playing right behind Jacob deGrom. So he had the whole left side of the infield. What does he do? He stays back on a curveball because he's thinking the other way. That's what I mean by approach and game plan. And he hits a ground ball to shortstop. If he's trying to do too much right there, thinking about lifting a ball into the bullpen, he doesn't do that. That was a big league approach.
And Anthony Rendon's big league at bat helped to set that up. So Bryce Harper scores for the 103rd time this year, twice tonight. And now a runner aboard for Ian Desmond with just one out.
It's good baseball.
Desmond will drop one into right field. Robinson will stop. No, he's going to keep on going. I mean, he looked at Granderson and kept running. And because Granderson throws to third, Desmond goes to second. Or did they get him at third? Wow. He was safe and he bypassed the bag. And that'll cost the Nats for the second out.
Well, it was a great deke by Clint Robinson. He cruised into second. Granderson looked down and he took third. I didn't see what happened here because I was watching Ian Desmond go to second base. So we'll all look at it the first time together. I don't know if you saw it live. I didn't. And did he pop up off the base? Did the left knee come up right at the end? Right here, watch. But is his pant leg still on the base? You got to review that. He's safe, isn't he?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, right there. He's off at the very end.
David Wright. And now we see this infielder's keeping the tag on forever.
Yeah, right at the end, it looked like everything came off the base.
So instead of second and third, one out, runner at second, two outs. And Wilson Ramos, the hitter. There is nobody within 30 feet of Ian Desmond. Murphy came over just a bit to keep him honest, but as the pitch is delivered, Ian Desmond could probably take third. And this ball hit well out to center, but Cespedes there. The Nats have a double, two singles. They score a run. Robinson's RBI, 2-1.
Players about keeping the tag on the runner. And great base running by Robinson. He deked Curtis Granderson. Granderson had to hurry up. But watch David Wright keep the tag on him the whole way. You used to teach, tag the guy, show the umpire your glove real quick. Get in, get out, show the ump the glove, sell the call. But now with challenges and replay review, I mean, in every major league clubhouse, you should be teaching keep the tag on the runner the whole time until the play is totally over. Because with reviews and challenge, if a guy pops off the base just a hair, you can get an out now. So that's a very heads-up play by David Wright. And I feel like all infielders in baseball should be doing that now instead of just tagging guys and showing the ump the glove.
I have a question for you from the base running standpoint. As soon as you hit the bag, how quickly does it flash into your mind? Do I call timeout right here? Because the umpire gives you time right when you want it.
Right.
Does it take a while for that to register? Because obviously that took a while for Clint to be tagged out there.
Well, the play has to be done before you're granted timeout. You can't just ask for timeout in the middle of a slide and the umpires say time. So the play has to be over. You have to make eye contact and you say time, 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 time. That's when you feel like you're falling off the base. It's a great question, though. I don't know if Clint had time to do that right there.
That's a swing. Ed Hickox punching out Travis d'Arnaud, and Steven Strasburg has 6 strikeouts. He's retired 9 straight.
But a great swing by Clint Robinson, heads up base running, just came off the base. That happens. And I still think that Major League Baseball needs to change that rule, because when you're stealing second or you're going first to third, somebody's really going to hurt their lower half, their legs, trying to stick a slide to stay on the base so that if you pop off, you don't get called out. Somebody's going to get hurt.
1 out here in the 5th. Michael Conforto hit a hard line drive to Matt Dendecker, who right now is playing only about 35 feet off the left field line. The ball had some carry on it. We've been impressed with the strength of this young man. And this one out of play. Right on the, that's the walkway up to the umpire's room next to the visiting dugout here.
Nats Plus is back for 2016, and memberships are on sale now. Enjoy the best seats in the house at the best price, access to private on-field events, and so much more. Membership gives you year-round Nationals experience. Go to nationals.com/Nats Plus and join today.
Strasburg's feeling it with that curveball all night long.
Well, just to give you an example, 2 curveballs in the first, 5 in the second, 10 in the third, and 17 curveballs in the fourth. So he's feeling it. He's liking the pitch. He's going to it more and more every inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
I mean, if you foul off a Steven Strasburg curveball tonight, you're doing something right if you're the Mets. That's how good it is.
That's the changeup at 90. Again, 4th inning, couple of strikeouts after the Murphy line drive out.
Keeping the ball down.
3-2 with 1 out. And they just cannot get a read on that hook. 7 Ks for Strasburg. And he didn't strike anybody out till the 3rd inning.
A just devastating curveball tonight. Dirty, rotten, filthy. Add any adjective in there you want. It works.
Number 8 hitter Wilmer Flores.
Disgusting. Gross.
This all started with a pitcher, DeGrom, leading off the third. The only contact, that line drive to center last inning by Daniel Murphy. And some more contact. This one also to center. Desmond out, Harper in. Bryce racing to it. It's another 1-2-3. 11 straight for Strasburg and 14 out of 15. Here's our next five. Day off tomorrow. The Nats are at Miami for 3. Gio and Jared Cozart on Friday. Nats will determine who pitches. So with the Marlins on Saturday, Max Scherzer, Brad Hand on Sunday before we move on to the city of brotherly Nationals love, Philadelphia. And Gio in his own backyard 2 nights from now.
He's playing in his own backyard?
Close.
Well, he better keep the ball down. I mean, I'm sure it's a pretty big backyard, but not as big as Marlins Park.
Tapper right side. Dendecker off to the races. Well played. It's Lucas Duda to the pitcher. 3-1. 5th inning underway for the Nats offense with Strasburg coming on.
Maybe Cespedes could go play in Gio's backyard. He could be the structure in left center field.
Gio will be looking for his 11th win. He's 10-7. Is there a limit to how many colors you can wear during a ball game?
I mean, or if they match, even sorta.
Gray, blue, orange, lime green.
Yeah. The glove, the necklace. He's got it all going on. We just need some Pinocchio dolphins somewhere. And a pink flamingo. Hey, you hit like he's hitting, you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah. Strike in there to Steven Strasburg, who struck out swinging first time. Oh for 3 career against DeGrom. DeGrom is 0 for 3 career against him. Good eye. Ball 2.
I mean, he'd be a big hit here on camp day. I know that. The summer camp day and all the kids were dressed in those colors.
Jacob deGrom walked Anthony Rendon back in the first. He has struck out 4. He's only walked 35 men all year in 163, actually now 173 plus innings. 3-2. Strasburg on a pitch that might have been outside. Down on strikes, 2 down, 5th inning.
Keep up with the pennant races in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.TV today. That's the I should have swung at that pitch look. And we got the same one.
He took a big rip at 95 with the count 0-2. Different kind of ball game thanks to these pitchers tonight. Monday 13 runs on 21 hits, 15 runs, 18 hits last night, and tonight 3 runs on 6. The Nats have 4 of those 6 hits. Jason 1 for 10 career against deGrom. Count not quite there yet, but turning into a good at bat for Jason.
See if he threw that slider away to come back to that fastball in here in a 1-2 count. Change it.
Now at 2-2. deGrom started the inning, 59 pitches. Worth helps get him up into the mid-70s. deGrom's 6th career start against the Nats. ERA around 3.5 right now, with a record of 1-2. Worth takes it inside, and it becomes a great at bat with 2 outs. Second walk by deGrom tonight.
See if Jason has any notions about stealing second base here, up by 1, 2 outs.
Terry Collins, one of the winningest managers ever, who has not been in the playoffs.
Only 3 stolen bases against deGrom all season.
What's the key for a right-handed pitcher to keep runners close.
Just vary your times, vary your tempo. You know, pay attention, throw over once, make sure you let them know they're there. But it's hard to get a jump on a guy that comes set for, say, 1001 on one pitch and 1002, 1003 on another pitch. You're trying to time him up. And if he's quick to the plate, Bob, then you just look for a ball in the dirt. If he's 1-3 or below, 1-2, 1-1 in those times, you just say, okay, I'm either going to score on a double or I'm looking for a curveball in the dirt to advance, and there's no way I can steal. The only way you can steal on a guy with those lower times is if he comes set 1001 every single time, and you start counting with him in your lead, and you get his tempo, and you get a great jump. Good question.
Danny just looking for some contact against this guy. It's been swing and miss all night long, and you look at that swing, and it looks like Danny's just not picking him up at all. Harper on deck. He's been fabulous tonight. And the count's back even, 2-2. Espinosa strikes out swinging for the third time tonight. The Nats strand their third base runner. Great pitching in this one. It's 2-1 Nats.
Strasburg, some curveball slang bender. There's a hammer. There's a yellow hammer. That's a real good one. There's Uncle Charlie again. Deuce.
Hook.
Hook.
Any of those yackers?
Yackers, there you go. Whatever is really good, that's what he's throwing tonight with the curveball. 22 curves of his 63 pitches.
Pitcher Jacob deGrom leads off in the 6th. Ball 2. By the way, great note handed to me by our wonderful statistician Carter Myers. After Jason Worth went to 0-2 that last at bat, it took 12 more pitches for deGrom to get out of that inning, getting him up to 81 from 59. In an inning where only one guy got on base, that's a strike to the outside edge. Two. 12 in a row for Stephen Strasburg, strikeout number 8.
Didn't you have to mess around with the curveball right there? He just went with the heater.
He had 8 strikeouts at San Francisco August 13th in 6 innings. The start before that, 12 Rockies went down in 7 innings here, and the Mets only hits that Cespedes, one hopper to Ian Desmond back in the 1st, and the Travis d'Arnaud literal wall scraper off the top of the left center field wall into the bullpen 2nd inning. Curtis Granderson, that was close, ball 1. Granderson has popped to short and struck out swinging.
If for some reason this game is tied late innings, you could put Stephen Strasburg's curveball in the bucket of filth tonight. You could put it right in there.
Throwing 95 here in the 6th inning, but he goes 3-0 to a guy you don't want to give a free base to. And that's not even close. A 4-pitch walk. And Cespedes stepping in, and Dan, kind of a strange story how the Mets ended up with him.
Bob, FP mentioned the other day that sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make. That certainly appears to be the case with the Mets. Fans probably remember that they had a deal in place to get Carlos Gomez from the Brewers. They were going to send Wilmer Flores to Milwaukee. That deal fell apart. A couple days later, they get Yoenis Cespedes. You see that Gomez has struggled since getting traded to the Astros. A couple days after that trade fell apart, Flores has really turned it on for the Mets, and Cespedes has just been absolutely on fire since coming to New York. That trade seems to work out pretty well for the Mets. The one not happening with Gomez and the one falling into place with Cespedes.
Yeah, sure did. And Fat Gomez has had to get hot over the last week or two to get above 200. He was down 190 for a while with his new ball club.
Well, the best part of that no trade is when they were going for Gomez, it was Flores and Zach Wheeler, and they got to keep Zach Wheeler and get Yoenis Cespedes. So, you know, Wheeler was gone, Flores was gone, and how big has Flores been for this ball club besides Cespedes? Both of those guys together have been keys in their offensive surge here late.
Yeah, Wheeler coming off Tommy John. They'll have him next year, and keeping an eye on his innings, I'm sure. Cespedes 1 for 2 tonight. And you might remember as well, that's right when the Nats came to New York, and the Mets were coming off that disastrous game at home they lost after the rain delay the day before. And everybody was kind of counting them for dead. And then they jump up and sweep the Nats at Citi Field that weekend. That's when everything really changed.
All right, time for some curveballs right here.
Yeah, it seems like it. Steven just can't spot the fastball right now.
Yeah, the Mets went through that rough patch where they got beat here by the Nats on the last game of that series, and the headlines in the Daily News was worst loss ever. And then they had that tough loss against the Padres you're talking about, the whole trade fiasco. And it just looked like there's no way these guys can figure it out. I mean, it's just a circus. It was. I think there's guys in the third base dugout that'll tell you as much. And then all of a sudden, they got the guy on your screen right now, and things kind of turned around.
After last night's disaster, 6 games separate the teams. Nats trying to get it back to 5 with 23 to go. And the last 3, of course, in New York, October 2, 3, and 4. Time given as Strasburg holds the ball for a while. 1 on, 1 out, 6th inning. Cespedes 1 for 2 against Strasburg tonight. First time in their careers they've met. And that was a big breaking ball that had Yoenis Cespedes all over the place in the batter's box. Strikeout number 9. Mercedes-Benz will try and track it.
It's an unhittable curve tonight. It really is. Nobody's really put it into play, period. I think the best thing we've seen is a few foul balls on the Strasburg curve, and he gets a big strikeout here for the 2nd out in the 6th on another nasty curveball.
Ties his 2nd most strikeouts for the year. He had 9 at Philadelphia in a 3-2 win June 28th. Murphy to center field twice and to left center this time, and Bryce Harper will put away all 3 of his fly balls. Brilliant night for Stephen Strasburg. Folks are standing behind the Nats first base dugout, loving what they see.
First time home run, fastball up and in. Really not a bad pitch from DeGrom. He was just trying to climb the ladder with 2 strikes. Bryce got on top of it and rode it out of here for home run number 35. And in this one, 104-mile-an-hour double in the gap to lead off the 4th. Bryce Harper, both runs tonight for the Nats.
To Hopper. Lucas Duda, he can do it himself.
I don't know if he caught a cleat right there, but there was a little flinch after the swing, and I don't know how great his hip is feeling tonight. I don't know if he caught a cleat. Watch after the swing. Yeah, a little wince right there as he turns that back hip. And even his home run trot tonight, you could see there's something going on. He's playing through some pain.
Anthony Rendon 0 for 1, base on balls, first inning.
That's why Mike Estabrook thinks Anthony Rendon is 4'8". He has had 3 low strikes called on him tonight. The bottom of the zone. The Dead Sea part of that bracelet of the zone.
One pitch. On the edge.
Wants an elevated fastball. Yeah.
Nets box. First inning homer, Bryce Harper, 2 outs. Rendon a base on balls. Next base runner was the Harper double in the 4th. Robinson brought him home, but on Ian Desmond's single to right, Clint came off the third base bag, tagged out. So 4 hits for Washington, 3 in that 4th inning. And now Anthony Rendon battles to a full count with 1 out. So Clint, his swing, baffling the Mets shift the difference in this game. Entire at bat from Mercedes-Benz. Rendon, this one playable for Granderson. 2 outs, 6th inning.
The lows never stop improving. Check out Clint Robinson's last 80 at-bats. Last 80 games, excuse me. 287, 7 home runs, 35 runs scored. Slugging percentage, .456. Last 80 games. For the human eyeball, Clint Robinson doesn't swing at balls, does he? Very often. I mean, he has got some idea of the strike zone.
Yeah, think of the bus rides he's been on. 3 different organizations, 8+ years in the minors. And actually 4, Kansas City drafted him. Some time with the Pirates, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers. 13 career at bats with 3 hits coming into this season at the big league level.
Well, he's a guy that even though he's a late bloomer at this level, Carp, is going to stay around a long time because, as we said in spring training the first time we saw him, his swing is low maintenance. He gets his foot down early, and that's conducive to being a great pinch hitter as he moves along. He's the type of guy that's going to play in the big leagues till he's 40.
2-2, and DeGrom able to blow him away with 96. Into the 7th inning, Strasburg and DeGrom, the Nets 2-1.
Washington Convention Center. Nationals Winterfest. Get tickets right now. Meet and take photos with your favorite Nats players. You can ask Santa for what you want for Christmas, I guess. To buy your tickets today at special early bird prices, visit nationals.com/Nats Winterfest. 2 days this year of fun. So when it's cold, I'm not ready for winter yet, by the way. Not even close. I'm ready for fall, though. I'm ready for pumpkin spice everything.
89 at game time tonight. Been a toasty week here. It's supposed to cool off after the Nats leave town. David Wright, top of the 7th inning, and Steven Strasburg keeps on firing. He had a walk given up last inning, but he's retired. 17 of 19 Mets since the base hit by Cespedes in the first inning. Got him looking. David Wright not prepared for that fastball and not happy with Mike Estabrook. Can't believe it.
Well, Wilson Ramos framed that well. And Steven Strasburg's been throwing strikes, so if you're Mike Estabrook, you're looking for strikes based on what you've seen from Strasburg. Probably the very top of the zone, a little below 1. What do you think? Yeah, right at the top. Could have went either way. And it goes in favor of Strasburg, who's been striking out everybody all night long.
Yeah, let's face it, umpires don't call him up there a whole lot, and that's why hitters are surprised. Lucas Duda 0 for 2. Rips one foul. Clint Robinson guarding the line. He's going after that thing no matter what.
Well, David Wright's home run in this series was a very similar pitch. Up in the zone, he got on top, he hit it out to left field.
18th time in Strasburg's career he goes 10 Ks or more. Second time this year. Then he hooks Lucas Duda to get it to 0-2. Swing and a miss on a heater upstairs. That's 11.
Do it all by yourself. He said in the first inning that the Nats need a big one out of Steven Strasburg tonight, and he is doing it in a big way here against the Mets. 11 strikeouts, this time a fastball elevated. I'm surprised Wilson Ramos even putting one down. If I was catching tonight, you'd have to ice my index finger and my middle finger, because I'd just be putting 2 down every single pitch.
Travis d'Arnaud 1 for 2 with the home run. There it is. Thought he was getting a first pitch fastball.
I mean, have you seen a better curveball from him ever?
No, not ever on the breaking pitch.
But on a consistent basis for 6+ innings, in the zone, out of the zone, 4 strike when he wants to, for a ball when he needs to. Another one. Come on. Triple up, why not bounce it? He has to swing. You just threw it for a strike. 2.
Crowd picking up on this action in the 7th inning. 9th pitch of the inning and the 9th strike. But d'Arnaud manages to get a piece of it.
Just gets a piece with an emergency hack.
Base hit. First Mets hit since the 2nd inning. And now Michael Conforto will be the hitter.
Well, with the fastball, d'Arnaud was on it. Nice piece of hitting. And the key to that at-bat was the foul ball and the curveball before with 2 strikes, keeping it alive.
Conforto tonight, line drive to left. taken strike 3 for K number 7 2 innings ago.
Two. See him run that back. He started that off the plate in and ran it back for a strike. Let's see him do that very often, the lefties. Deuce. Deuce for the win. What do you got, Kurt?
I got a yacker for the 7th inning stretch.
There it is. Deuce for the win.
That's the first ball of this inning out of 13 pitches.
Well, I think it was meant to be.
Runner at first, 2 down. Another strikeout for Strasburg. In that inning, 14 pitches, 13 strikes, and that's what you call giving up 1 hit and striking out the side.
Another filthy curveball from Steven Strasburg. Just unbelievable tonight with the fastball command, and the curveball as good as it gets.
Strasburg goes roaring into the Hyundai 7th inning stretch. Unbelievable performance tonight, equals his season high in Ks. Just enough offense. Is it enough for the rest of the night? That will remain to be seen. But right now, everything you could possibly hope for through 7 innings on a return night for Steven Strasburg, who hasn't pitched in 10 days.
That's all you need right here.
Number 2.
Just keep calling it, and we'll watch it because it's been ridiculous tonight. 12 strikeouts. That's what the scorecard looks like with 12 strikeouts highlighted. And It's been the curveball. I mean, has one been put into play tonight? I don't think so. There's been a couple tap fouled on the first baseline, but that's been it. I mean, you needed a good one from Steven Strasburg. You're not getting a good one. You're getting the performance of the year from this guy tonight. So, I mean, right when you think it's all doom and gloom, the big guy, the big right-hander, stepped up in a big way.
Well, and he'd be the first one to tell you the repertoire as a whole not working that great tonight, but one pitch enough to get him by because it's been so perfect.
Well, the fastball's been good too, Bob. I mean, it's been 97. He's thrown it 98. You know, he's thrown it into lefties, and like Dan said earlier, to the glove side, away from righties, is where you really got to get that extension to throw it across the plate, and he's done that well too. So everything really good from Steven tonight. 2-1 lead feels like it's about 5-1, but the Nats need some more runs.
Jacob deGrom is at 94 pitches, 62 strikes. Strasburg's at 91 with 63 strikes through 7 innings. So the Nats try to get some more runs here. Desmond, Ramos, Dendecker. This ball game, by the way, the 5th time this year, Strasburg has gone 7. Desmond a base hit the other way last time. And deGrom throws him a changeup. Bottom of the zone at 87. Busting Ian Desmond inside. Strikeout number 8. Wilson Ramos back on the 21st of July.
Let me guess. It's a broken bat single.
I don't think so.
Nope. It's an opposite field tater, and the Buffalo knew that one was gone too. First row back, right center field. Washington, D.C. Lexus Steelers are donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this season. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Ramos a chopper. 0 for 2 tonight. Ground ball to short. Fly ball to center. Hanser Robles, the right-hander. Dario Alvarez, the lefty. Mets bullpen has not given up 1 run in this series. And then the mid-90s fastball foul tipped 0-2. Got him. Going to some off-speed stuff here in his 7th inning. 9 strikeouts for the achiever in you. PNC Bank with our minor league report. Lucas Giolito, 7-7, 3.15 this season. So drafted 3 years ago. 6'6", 255. And it won't be long before he's beyond Double-A.
He's going to actually be on TV less when he gets to the big leagues because he'll only pitch every 5th day, but we do the minor league report with him pretty much every day.
That's a fair ball by Matt Dendecker. Hits the short corner. He has great speed. He'll be into second base with no problem. So Steven Strasburg can take some hacks here with 2 outs and try to make it 3-1.
Turns the lineup over, 2-out double, and you never know. Even with an outfield cheated in for Steven Strasburg, Matt Dendecker fast enough to score on a single here. So a nice swing.
Love watching that kid run the bases.
I like watching him play. I mean, he has been nothing but a big-time help to this ball club. In his short time up this year, got some big hits. He's made some nice plays. He runs the base as well. He's a good player.
Steven Strasburg looking for his 14th career RBI. Over to the left side. David Wright cuts it off, and he'll throw out Steven. 7th inning over. Now back to the pitching of Strasburg. Bottom 2 in the order coming up for the Mets. By authority of the Washington Nationals, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Steven Strasburg coming off a 14-pitch, 13-strike, 7th inning, 91 on the night through 7. Mentioned he's gone 7 now 5 times this year. His longest outing, 7 1/3, back on April 19th when the Nats beat the Phillies 4-1.
And he was just asking me between innings, what about the T-Mobile fan photo, FP? And I said, hold on, Steven, we got it for you. And here it is. Steven Thorne. And I know that guy in the middle. What's his name again? I think that's Teddy in the middle. That's Teddy. All right, that's your T-Mobile fan photo.
Top of the 8th inning, Wilmer Flores will be hit for by Kelly Johnson here. So with these abundant extra guys on the bench, the Mets will go to the left-handed hitter Johnson. Kelly Johnson 1 for 5 career against Steven Strasburg. Then another lefty, Kirk Neuenhuis, on deck. 2-0.
He'll reset, walk off the mound, get back in that groove you just were in.
And a ball well hit and way out of here. The Mets have homered against the Nats again. Kelly Johnson, 2nd of this series, and it's a 2-2 game. No doubter, 2nd level, right field.
So fell behind 2, and then he goes 2-0, and then he goes fastball right there. Ramos set up off the plate. It ran back right down the middle, and Johnson all over it. Got away from the curveball, got behind, had to throw the fastball in there, and all of a sudden you got a tie ball game. Terry Collins, any button he pushes right now is the right one.
And the Mets fans have come alive in the ballpark, and Kirk Neuenhuis now will be the hitter.
Go to Vegas with that guy right now, he'd be a millionaire.
He's 0 for 5 career against Strasburg. And now the Mets have hit 7 home runs against the Nats in this 3-game series. Wow, pinch hit home runs. Great changeup there to neutralize the big left-handed swing. So DeGrom goes 7 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits, 9 strikeouts. He walked 2 batters. Neither of them came back to haunt him. Gave up a homer to Harper, 102 pitches, 70 strikes. And a 1-2 coming. Low.
Done a nice job too.
Right in there. Neuenhuis frozen. He hit the pinch hit homer last night that gave the Mets the win. Strikes out looking right there. That's number 13 for Strasburg. Top of the order, Granderson. Oh for 2 with a walk. Great changeup. Going to that a little bit more here. Tyler Clippard for the bottom of the 8th for the Mets. So just over 100 pitches here. Stevens been as high as 113 this season. Breaking ball, base hit. Curtis Granderson went out and got it. Drew Storen and Matt Thornton have been warming in the Nats bullpen. And now Yoenis Cespedes comes in, and here comes Matt Williams. And some fans don't want to see Strasburg depart. As soon as he does, if he does, he should get a thunderous ovation. Hit by Granderson. Yoenis Cespedes will be facing Drew Storen, so right back on the horse after a rough outing last night. There was a third of an inning, a hit, a run, 3 walks, 22 pitches, just 7 were strikes. There was a wild pitch. Life of a reliever, FP. Right back at it the next night.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons Matt Williams just went out and got Steven Strasburg. You heard the crowd's reaction when Matt came out of the dugout, that he wanted to get Drew back on the horse. You don't want to sit around and think about yesterday too long. But what a performance by Steven Strasburg, and here we go.
Strasburg, 103 pitches, 70 strikes in 7 1/3, matching his longest outing of the year. Cespedes hit the 3-run double off Drew Storen, the crippling blow of that 6-run 7th inning. So here we are, one night and 1 inning later, the same two. And then this could be a one-batter appearance for Drew. Thornton ready for Murphy. And there it goes to left center. Into the bullpen. And the Mets have shocked the Nats and their bullpen again. (4-2) New York.
Well, Cespedes doubled last night off Drew Storen, and we said at the time that if it had any elevation, it was gone. And tonight he gets elevation, and it is gone. So a guy that Steven Strasburg had some success against tonight, striking out 2 times, Drew Storen doesn't. And just like that, the Mets take the lead.
Still only 1 out in the inning. Drew stays to pitch to Murphy. He's 2 for 12 career against him.
One manager, every move he makes, and the other one is just in a slump too. Every move he makes doesn't work. I mean, it's just the way it's gone right now, and I have to be perfectly honest. That's what's happening.
Three in the 7th Monday, 6 in the 7th, a run in the 8th last night, and 3 in the 8th here tonight. Bouncing ball right side, Danny Espinosa. 2 outs. It'll be Drew Storen now and David Wright. That closes the book on Steven Strasburg now, who unfortunately could be the loser, charged with 3 of these 4 runs.
Well, that's just not right.
I know, it's just not a fair game.
You can't pitch any better than Steven Strasburg did here tonight. And you felt like that 2-1 lead was insurmountable. Johnson ran into one, 2-2 ball game, and you're thinking, okay, you figure out a way to scratch one more across. The end came quick, and now it's 4-2.
David Wright had a base hit against Drew last night. Actually walked against him. Wright started that inning with a base hit last evening off of Blake Trinan. David Wright 0 for 3 tonight, and 4 for 13 career against Drew Storen. Couple of fouls, and it's 0-2. Cut off. Rendon. Damage done by the Mets. Homers by Johnson and Cespedes. Singled in between by Granderson. Jason Worth. Danny Espinosa. Bryce Harper. Bottom of the 8th. Straight ahead. Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. And by National Tire and Battery, tires, oil, service, and repairs. That's all you need. 4-2 Mets as Yoenis Cespedes continues to hurt the Nats. He now has 14 homers and 36 RBIs in 36 games for New York. Ruben Tejada stays in. He'll play short. Kelly Johnson replaces Daniel Murphy at second base. And former Net Tyler Clippard had a 1-2-3 eighth last night. He'll face Jason Worth.
A fastball changeup fork. He's ditched the curveball this year pretty much. 60th appearance for Tyler Clippard. Look at lefties hitting just 118 against Tyler Clippard this year.
Drew Storen, 2/3 of an inning, a home run, 1 run charged to him. And Clippard starts with the off-speed pitch up and away, ball 1. .80. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Worth is 3 for 7 career against Tyler Clippard. And 92 by him.
Starting to rain a little bit.
Jason Worth staying with an off-speed pitch. Lucas Duda has room. That's the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Danny Espinosa is next.
It's a big at-bat trying to jump on for Bryce Harper and have Bryce represent the tying run.
Danny struck out by Tyler Clippard last night in their first career matchup.
He's got the bunt if he wants to bring it with him. But Flores, or Johnson, excuse me, playing deep, and so is Duda. He's got the whole right side if he wants to do it.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking, but it's too close to the pitcher. 2 outs, and Bryce Harper cannot tie the game.
Well, he had it right here. He just wanted to get by Tyler Clippard. That's all he had to do, and it was an off-speed pitch, and it went off the end of the bat. So the speed was the difference there. If he bunts a little bit harder, he's walking into first. So good idea by Danny Espinosa. Just didn't work out.
Bryce, a big night, 2 for 3, homer double. Sammy Solis for the Nats. Duda, Darno, Conforto, 2 of the 3 lefties due up for the Mets top 9. Just a strange twist of fate this year. Drew Storen and Tyler Clippard, inseparable as teammates. At time, roommates when they were together. And now Tyler, by way of Oakland, ends up pitching against the Nats in critical situations and doing quite well when his best friend struggles. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Bryce has seen 1 heater. Now the count goes to 3-1 with Anthony Rendon on deck. Harper, right field. See you later. Right around the foul pole as he hooks one down the line. Second of the night, 36th of the year. Nationals back to within a run.
Well, who knows if Bryce gets that pitch if Danny Espinosa was on board with the base hit bunt, but how clutch has Bryce been here tonight? Stepping up big, home run number 36, RBI number 85, and the 3rd run of the night for Bryce Harper. He scored all 3. If he's not the MVP, I don't know who is.
Counting his time with Oakland and the Mets, Tyler Clippard gives up his 6th homer of the year. Here's Anthony Rendon now. Well, that really changes things for the bottom of the 9th, certainly, and we'll see how long the Nats can extend this inning. Rendon's going to bunt. David Wright, bare hand, decides to hold on, and Anthony Rendon is aboard with the tying run. How's that from your cleanup hitter?
Well, check out the home run first, and we'll get back to Anthony Rendon bunt later. But home run number 36 for Bryce Harper. Leg kick down. Perfect swing. I mean, like he's taking batting practice, right? Just smooth this one out of here. Very easy swing by Bryce Harper. Goes upper tank and makes it a 1-run ball game. Wow.
Big spot for Clint Robinson now.
Anthony Rendon got to think about stealing off Tyler Clippard right here, getting scoring position. See if he does it.
Rendon 1 for 3 this year. The Mets defense in a big time shift. And David Wright plays about 50-55 feet off the line at the left side to try to cut off that area where Robinson singled earlier.
Timeout being called right here. What we got? Ball on the field. Got ball on the field and right.
Jonathan Papelbon pops up, by the way, in case the Nats take the lead, or maybe even if they're able to tie the game. Ballpark sure came alive. Clint Robinson takes one in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on 78.
I mean, the one thing you remember from watching Tyler Clippard is he's a front shoulder guy. What does that mean? Well, when he comes set, his left front shoulder moves, it rolls in. So as a base stealer, that's what you're keying on. And you can get a good jump off Clippard even though he has time. You see how he's coming set open? His first move is he rolls his left shoulder right where that Mets logo. It rolls in, and that's when you go. That's where you're looking. See that? That's where you get your jump.
Robinson to left. Ball falling and caught by Michael Conforto. The Nats pick up a run on Bryce Harper's 2nd homer of the night, his 36th of the year. Conforto keeps Ian Desmond from batting with a runner in scoring position. Public school teachers. You can receive up to 30% off Nats tickets when verified through GovX. This special ticket offer includes up to a $10 credit for food, beverage, or merchandise inside Nationals Park. To be verified, purchase these special tickets. Go to nationals.com/gov-x. Bryce Harper keeping the Nats close as this one goes to the ninth inning. And Jonathan Papelbon, with Washington down by a run, is into the game to face Duda, d'Arnaud, and Conforto.
A fastball slider split. Fastball 91 to 93.
Papelbon pitched 2 innings last night. A run on a hit, the homer by Kirk Neuenhuis. 20 pitches, 15 strikes. Lucas Duda against Papelbon, 1 for 6. That ball drilled right center. Worth trying to cut it off. Extra bases for Lucas Duda.
Kind of a weird route by Jason Worth right there. I don't know if he lost the ball or what. He was kind of jogging for it. Then he had to turn on the jets to go get it. That was strange. Watch Jason Worth, top of your screen. And all of a sudden he had to turn on the jets. Maybe that ball tricked him a little bit, the speed of it.
Travis d'Arnaud, 2 for 4. Actually 2 for 3 as he steps in. And 1 for 2 career against Papelbon. Hard hit. Espinosa thought about a throw to third. That's a long way to throw. 1 out. Duda, third base.
We'll give Lucas Duda credit for knowing that Danny Espinosa has a big arm. He got a good secondary lead, and Espinosa thought about it, and he made the right decision going to first. If he throws that to third, he didn't have a chance. Terry Collins pinch running for Lucas Duda.
Eric Young Jr. It changes a few things on a ground ball possibility.
And you know he's going contact play if you put Eric Young Jr. in up by 1. So on the ground, he's rolling. Watch.
It's on the ground. He's rolling, and it's off Danny Espinosa, and the Mets will lead 5-3.
That's a base hit all the way. That ball's hit hard.
Yeah, playing in like that, no reaction time.
Danny Espinosa, I think, got his bare hand in there. And he's feeling it right now. Might have got his thumb in there. See where this gets him. Ball's hit hard. Tried for the backhand, got his bare hands. And Eric Young Jr. going all the way.
The Mets have 4 runs on 5 hits in the last inning and a third in the 8th and the 9th. Big blow by Kelly Johnson. Stayed in the game to play second base. He gets another at bat. 0 for 7 career against Papelbon. Serves one to the left side. Good cutoff there by Rendon, and it turns into a 5-4-3 double play. Anthony Great range to his left. Now the Nats are down by 2. Ian Desmond, Wilson Ramos, and Matt Dendecker due up bottom 9. Familia on the way. Big. Like we promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Let's check out the night of Bryce Harper. Home runs number 35 and 36 for Bryce. That's the first one in the first inning. This one in the 8th off his old friend Tyler Clippard. And then the real bright spot, the Nats offense tonight. 3 for 4, 2 homers, a double, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. Have a night, Bryce Harper.
Mets with changes now in the outfield. Juan Lagares plays center. That moves Cespedes to left field for the 9th inning. First base. Eric Campbell. And then a tough one on the mound. Familia gave up a base hit and a walk in the 9th last night, but the Escobar double play ball ended the game.
Remember, it was behind Anthony Rendon, 3-1 too, so he had trouble throwing strikes last night. But tonight a new night.
Desmond, a foul tip, strikeout, 1 out. And you talk about a guy who's been a dominant closer lately. Familia in this series, very tough. Wilson Ramos 0 for 3.
With so much movement.
Ramos 0 for 2 career against the right-hander. And it goes with the breaking ball, 91. Papelbon and Scherzer watching. 1-2 to Wilson Ramos. And the Mets are 1 out away from a 7-game lead with 23 to go. Matt Dendecker has to try to get aboard here for the Nats. And then the pitcher spot coming up looks like Yunel Escobar is walking to the on-deck circle.
Dendecker going leadoff hitter mode here, trying to get on any way he can and hope, if you're a National, that Yunel Escobar runs into one.
Dendecker 0 for 1 career against the Mets closer. In the air to left. Cespedes, I guess it's only fitting he would catch the final out after the series he's had. Mets take care of the Nats. They sweep the series. Washington within an eyelash of knocking a couple of games off that lead in the first 2 games of the series, and maybe tonight as well, and it did not work out. 5-3 Mets. They have a 7-game lead over the Nats. For FP and Dan Coco, Bob Carpenter. The Nats will be back on the air Friday night down in Miami when they open a 3-game series against the Marlins. Coverage begins at 6:30. Gio Gonzalez will be pitching for Washington. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now. Byron and Ray straight ahead. Nats extra post game. And from the booth, Mets sweep. So long for just a while.